This is Kings River Life magazine, and we have just seen Stageworks Fresno's production of I Am My Own Wife, starring Terry Lewis, and we are chatting with Terry for a moment here. So, wow, how do you prepare for a show like this?
I laughed the first time I picked up the script. I think I cried for about 20 minutes looking at the lines. Oh my God, I'm never going to memorize all this. And all the characters and the men and women and 8 different accents and German. And it was so overwhelming, but luckily I had done a one-man show last year, so I knew I could do it. This one is longer and more complicated, but Jay Daniel is such a great director, and he helps me, and he just let me do it bit by bit. Slowly I learned it. It took a while, let me tell you.
How long did it take?
Well, I mean, it was a usual, no, actually it was a longer rehearsal process than normal because we didn't meet as much. So I don't remember how many weeks exactly, but it was kind of longer than a normal rehearsal period. But we didn't meet every night like a lot of plays that you do. But still, it was quite a while, a couple of months at least.
How many different roles do you play?
That's hard to say because some of them are just like a one-sentence thing. It's hard to kind of quantify, but it's somewhere around 40.
Wow.
Give or take. So,
did you know German already?
I used to be semi-fluent when I lived in Europe for a while in my early college days for a summer, and I used to speak German fairly frequently, and I got semi-fluent, but it had been years, and I've forgotten all of my German. I can still pronounce it, but I still
Well, at least you can still pronounce it. That's important.
Right. That's something, sure.
So, how do you feel about this role? What emotions does it bring out in you, and just tell me how you feel about it.
I think it's an amazing piece of theater. He is such a brilliant writer, and it's tough because on the one hand it's incredibly daunting to be the only person on stage. You have to know everything. If something goes wrong, if I go up on a line, there's no one to help me. There's no one to play off of, so I have to sort of imagine those people there. But it's also so incredibly gratifying to be able to do all that and have the whole thing be me. I have the ultimate freedom to kind of do whatever I want within the confines of direction, of course. But in terms of the show itself, I just think it's such a moving piece of theater. She's so interesting and flawed, and I love that he doesn't present her as perfect. He presents her as a flawed person, and you see there are these beautiful, touching moments. There are funny moments. It's such a great play, I think, and every night it moves me. The stuff that her life really moves me on stage, and so I just feel really fortunate to be able to have done it.
How do you switch back and forth between the different roles?
That is the hardest part. Sometimes they're so fast, and it's between a man and a woman, and one of them's English and one of them's German, and so it took a long time to figure that out. But you sort of, at least for me, you have to picture the other person. You have to sort of see them, and it's easier if I'm in this conversation with this person, I have to make some kind of mental image where they're right there, so that when I turn to be that person, I can sort of inhabit that. It sounds kind of hokey, but anyway, for me, that's how it works. But that is the hardest part about it, I think.
And what do you enjoy the most about this role?
About this role?
Yeah, about this show in general.
I just love the opportunity to tell this story. I think it is so interesting, and the fact that they're all, for the most part, real people in the show. Some of the people he creates reporters that weren't, maybe an exact person, but the events were true. Everything that happened is as it happened, and I think just imparting that story she was so interesting and so flawed, but also did a lot for LGBT rights. It was a real icon in her time and a celebrity, and the fact that her story is still being told because of this play, I think is just really fascinating. I love the opportunity to tell her story.
Why should people come see the show?
As I think I probably alluded to, I think it's beautifully written. It's almost like poetry at times. It's so beautifully written. It's interesting, it's engaging, it's funny, it's sad, it's touching, it's moving. It's a beautiful theater space. They've built a beautiful set. I have wonderful direction from J. Daniel Herring. We have great lights, great sound. I think I feel privileged to be here every night. I think people should come see it.
Well, thank you very much.